Listen, if you're making videos, a lot of times you're putting in so much effort and time and energy into creating these videos, and you're really trying to make it the best that you can, but sometimes they just fall flat. They just don't get the views. They just don't resonate with people. And I've been there. I've done that. I've spent hours and hours editing videos or coming up with ideas and putting my time and my effort all week long into videos that just don't seem to click with people. And this isn't a video about YouTube analytics or how YouTube works or pushes your videos out to people. This is purely about a mindset and a shift that I think will help you benefit in the future to create videos for your audience. So for me, it didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. It didn't feel like I was making videos that weren't good or weren't going to get views or weren't going to provide value. They definitely had value in them. But what it did feel like was that I was making videos for myself, or I wasn't making it specifically for someone that needed it. And I think that right there is why we need to reframe the way we're thinking of our audience. And, when I finally asked the question, who am I actually helping in this video? Everything kind of shifted. There was an idea that I would make an avatar or like a ideal person, your target audience, personality, and you can go through the process of picking a name, their age, like everything about them. But I had that all done, but still when I was in the idea process of trying to figure out what kind of videos I'm going to do and how I'm scripting them out, they were still catered to what I wanted to talk about and what I felt confident in talking about. And obviously there's a part of any YouTube channel that you have to know what you're talking about. You have to have some experience or expertise or something in it. So there's an element of that, but being able to actually hone in on what someone needs that you're watching to and talk to that specific person is a big deal. And so whenever I shifted to that, it changed my mindset and it made things a lot easier. I stopped chasing kind of broad ideas, and I think you're still going to do that. You're going to look for outliers and other things that work in your niche, but I stopped chasing broad ideas that'll help you to, aim your videos more targeted to that specific person and less likely to just try to be this one step everybody learn from this and love this video. Those don't ever work. So just kind of aiming for one real person was a game changer. And at first when I made that shift in my mind, and again, it's still happening, like this video right here is still just another step forward in doing this. But at first it felt almost awkward. It felt too specific or too small when you're thinking of just one person. I think when you do that though, even though they feel like maybe you're narrowing your mindset down too much, it actually is the videos that connect more. So it's actually, people will actually gravitate toward those videos and actually view those and actually connect with those videos more. And I've seen it happen in a few of my videos where I wasn't focused on the overall, idea or the overall like big picture, like I want to make something that's viral or possibly go viral, and instead if I focused on like I'm just gonna think about one person, I'm gonna help this one person who maybe needs to hear this and maybe needs to know whatever, and then you get a comment that says like I felt like that video or this video was just for me. And so when you get comments like that where they're just basically saying, hey, like this is exactly what I needed to hear. I've had that a number of times where people have commented and said, this is the exact video I needed to hear. Thanks for, doing it and putting it up there. That right there changes everything. That's a huge win. That is a way to, look at your video success and understand that's what I'm going for. I'm going for that type of response and helping individual people actually succeed and do whatever I'm teaching, and be able to grow in that. So when you get comments like that, it changes everything. It changes the way you think, your mindset, everything about it. And so I will say before that happened, before I started getting comments like that, before I kind of had this mindset shift, I nearly quit. And I've talked about that in a couple other videos where I kind of just stopped for 3 weeks and didn't put anything out and got a little burnout. And, but I think I was just in my mind, in my concept, it was the first month of being on YouTube in this channel, and I just felt like I was shouting into a void. I felt like I was just picking random straws out of the air and trying to talk about it and throw it out on YouTube and see what stuck. And that can be really discouraging. And that's why this mindset is so key, is like, don't think about your videos as just these random things you're trying to pluck out. Actually really hone in on who you're talking to and talk specifically to that person, and just help and just try to provide value, try to, solve their problems, things like that. So that I was definitely burnt out on that. I nearly quit. But now, as I'm trying to structure all my videos, I'm trying to start with 3 questions. And so here's kind of the meat of the video if you want to take something home and apply it to your videos. These are 3 questions I'm asking myself when I'm trying to come up with ideas or think about what I want to talk about in videos. The first one is, who is this for? So literally write out who it's for. Who is this person? What is their scenario? What questions are they asking? And then what is the problem that we're solving? So in a recent video that Ty Myers did, I'll link it in the description below, it kind of nailed it on the head for me. And it was just another kick in the butt to like, hey, this is how you do it. And he just talked about in there, looking at every week when you start the ideation process to try to create videos for the week, think about, who you can help and what problem you can solve for them. And so I'll link that below. It's a great video. It talks about this same topic, and it was a encouraging and kind of a kick in the butt, like I said, to keep doing this, because I kind of structured this before, but it's something that as a new YouTuber, it's hard to like stick with certain things because you're trying so many things at one time. But I loved it. So I'll link that in the description below. Go watch that as well. But the first question again is, who's it for? Second, what is the problem? And then the third one I ask is, will this feel personal? So I want the viewer to think that I made this video for them. And hopefully if you're still watching this video, maybe that's you. Maybe I've reached you and you feel like, okay, I'm a new, or someone who wants to start a YouTube channel, or, a new creator or whatever. And I need some encouragement. I need to figure out a good mindset of how I'm going to talk to people, how I'm going to be confident on camera and not be nervous about the way I sound and look and talk and what am I going to say. Hopefully that's you. And so I have to think, that's the third, question I ask about each video is, will that video feel personal to my audience, to the person I'm talking to? Will it feel like I'm talking to them? And that's a really big point to do when you're kind of, throwing ideas against the wall and seeing what you can come up with. So I'm not making more videos. In fact, I've actually slowed down what I'm making, but I feel like I'm going to start making better videos. And I think when you make the shift, you'll do the same. You'll start feeling more confident in what your ideas are, instead of just feeling like, I don't know, what should I do? Which one? I have no clue. Like, I have a bunch of ideas, but I don't know what to do. It starts to bring clarity to what ideas you're doing, because you know your audience more the more you ask these questions. And so I'm making better videos, hopefully, and you can let me know in the comments below if not. But and I feel like it's actually fun to do it this way. You bring some joy back into the process. And so that's huge. And I'm still learning, like I said, but now I feel like I have a little bit of a compass on what direction I want to go. How do I create ideas? How do I go through the scripting process and come up with something that, speaks to my audience? And it's definitely changed how I show up to YouTube and to my channel. And I think a key thing here is, again, you don't need to go viral. You don't need to create the videos that are going to have the, explosion and views and that kind of stuff. I think that will happen over time. But for you guys who are starting out, like, just focus on who you're helping, and what problems can you solve? Is this video going to be personal to them? Like, are they going to feel like that you're speaking exactly to the pain point that they had? Think about that kind of stuff when you're trying to plan your videos. Don't worry about something going viral. Just be helpful and be consistent. That's the main takeaway. And so that's really it. I just wanted to sit down and just talk about that real fast and give you the insight that I'm starting to learn and apply to my videos. If this clicked with you, hit subscribe and like. It helps the channel out a lot. Let me know in the comments, things that you do to talk to your audience and how you kind of set up this, or if you're going to use this, let me know down below. I also have made a free starter pack that is just 3 documents that help, with an editing checklist and, kind of like these confidence prompts for yourself to be able to get and build confidence on camera. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel or you have started and you just want more confidence, it's a free starter pack. It's just some guidelines, some things that hopefully are helpful tools for you to use. You can download that for free in the description below. And that's it for this video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.